The search is on for a new head of the South African Revenue Services. A panel headed by former Finance Minister Trevor Manuel has started shortlisting candidates. The vacancy arose when President Cyril Ramaphosa sacked Tom Moyane last year. He acted on recommendations from the Nugent Commission, probing allegations of gross financial and administrative malfunctions at the tax agency. Moyane has been blamed for approximately 50 billion rand shortfall in tax collection in 2017-2018. So, what kind of candidate will fit the bill? Does he or she have to be a financial whiz, a good administrator, or just a person of integrity who can lead a team of experts? To answer these questions, we have in the studio Zweli Maboza of Priority Tax Solutions and Wayne Duvenage, CEO of the organization Undoing Tax Abuse. Thank you both very much for joining us. Zweli, what sort of person are we looking for here?
Look, I think all the characteristics that you've mentioned are some of the things that you really need from someone who's going to be leading this big organization. You must remember that what you're looking for someone who is going to be liaising between National Treasury, the stakeholders, which is basically business people. So it's very important for someone to understand exactly who are the stakeholders that have got interest in the tax collection. The last thing that you want is a situation where you've got tax boycott, whether that is passive or something that is active. So it's very, very important to have someone there that can be trusted by the business community, and someone who can trust the business community as well. We also need someone who's not captured, by the way.
Yeah, well, that would be something new. Is it possible? Is there somebody out there?
Yeah, definitely.
Clean, politically astute?
Yeah. Look, I think we need moral courage as well. We need somebody who needs to go out there and reinstitute and bring back those elements within SARS that goes after the illicit trade, goes after and assists the issues around big business, because too much is slipping through the net. We saw that happening under Tom Moyane's rule in that office, and we've got to go and reinstate. So it's somebody also who needs to get a grip on the technology and the electronic age that SARS was operating so well, and you've got to get that all back on track again.
Yes, because that really fell away, didn't it, under Tom Moyane as well. And I should imagine that's the most important thing, or one of the most important factors in keeping us current and relevant.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this person, do you have a name? Can you suggest somebody?
Well, already we've been told that they've got a list of people, and we understand that they are less than 10. And someone who is also there, I think, is Mr. The guy who was a CEO at Alexander Forbes at some point. He was coming from Sars. He knows exactly how Sars operates. That's the name that has been thrown around. But you also have got the guy who's also acting now. He also has got good experience. But you also need a candidate who actually has got an understanding of the business. That is, we cannot overemphasize that. That is very, very important, because you need the support from the business. You need someone who can be able to go and understand the transactions, because now you're talking about illicit trades. The only way in which you can understand those is if you understand how business operates. Someone who understands the economics and the economy, because if the economy is doing well, then you expect the tax collectors to also collect more. So you can't have a situation where the tax is going down and the GDP is going up. You need someone who's going to say, okay, fine, where do we have the gaps? And be able to
What impact did these lost years have on business?
Well, I think there's a lot of trust. There's a lot of maximizing of avoidance. People are trying to get away with as much as they can. And so this tax morality has dropped, understandably so. Frustration has crept in. And people want to see government behaving itself, acting morally, in order to stimulate the moral ethics again.
Yes, I should imagine people feel, why should we pay if this is happening?
That's what happens, and you must understand there are a lot of loopholes in taxes. So you see the SABC TV licenses and so forth. Wherever people can take a gap, they're going to, and that hurts the economy. So Zweli's right, you know, somebody understands business to plug those holes, to restore faith in SARS, to get business back on track again. But there's so much illicit trade going on, and just the illicit tobacco industry, a loss of potentially, we believe, 8 billion rand a year. That's massive.
Extraordinary. And also the businesses that are now trading offshore, moving offshore in order to get away from the...
And there's an ethics issue there.
Look, there's been a number of projects that I think the tax authorities have undergone to try and deal with things like those. I mean, there's been something that is dealing with BEPS, basically which is dealing with profit erosion, where the profits are actually generated in South Africa, but they are not taxed in South Africa. So that is very, very important. But to be in a position to do that, you need to be someone who's got a reputation in the market, because that person will also attract skills. That person is not only going to be dealing with business people, but it's someone that when the market is looking up to, and also people are going to say, you know what, now that you've got the tax authorities that, or you've got Sars that is led by so-and-so, I'm prepared to go and work for that person. Because currently, one of the challenges that the state has is that they're struggling to attract skills. And you can go to any government institution.
Why do you think it's so hard to attract skills? I mean, are they leaving the country? Do they feel that there's no future in something like SARS?
No, I don't think so. Look, we are losing a lot of talent, but SARS itself lost a lot of talent, and wrong people were put in, and you've got to undo that, bring back that talent, bring back those units that know where to go and find the evasion, and I think there's a lot of tax practitioners out there that are available, but I think, as Zweli says, you want somebody who's going to lead that team and take it to new heights.
And that she won't be able to do it until they clean up the rot that I should imagine is still there.
Look, I think that the biggest thing that they have to deal with after they've attracted skills, in fact, they can attract skills before they finish the cleanup. Because sometimes that's what you need. You need skills so that you can have people who can say that, let's look at what has been happening historically. Let's assist in terms of how can we make sure that we clean up. So for them, they must not wait for that. They must not even wait to the extent that they can, in fact, attract skills in certain areas in international tax. You've got a lot of unregistered businesses within South Africa. I mean, if you think about it, you've got few taxpayers. And the system, it should be easy to track this. Because for every organization to be a company, it must register with SIPs. Now, the question is every entity that is registered there, registered as a taxpayer? Do those entities pay their taxes? Because we understand that there's a lot of informal trading, not just by people who are actually hawkers. We're talking about companies. They are informally trading and they don't pay tax. They're not even registered for tax.
And, you know, I mean, sadly, if you're not getting the money in those 50 billions, then it's social grants that are affected. So, as usual, it's the poorest of the poor.
Everything suffers. You know, we need all that money. And yes, there was an exponential loss from 10 to 20 to 40 billion just in 3 years while Tom Mayane was there. So they've got to arrest that. They've got to get it back. But the country as a whole is in a very tough space economically. So there are less company taxes, profitable taxes that are coming through there as well. So we've got to go and get every cent we can.
And when the new person starts, I mean, what sort of time frame are we looking at until we can see a now functioning agency again?
Look, it's not. It's already started. I think Mark Kingan and the team have been working hard behind the scenes, and we believe that it's not going to be an overnight process, but the wheel is starting to turn already. And once the new person comes in, beginning of April, we believe we should start seeing the fruits of this new energy within SARS by the end of the year.
All right, Wayne Divinaj, Zweli Maboza, thank you. That's our show for tonight. News is next.